Welcome to Of Men, For Men. Here we'll discuss issues pertaining to the modern day man. Subjects like health, wealth, lifestyle, gear, and relationships. So join me as we dive into the world of men, for men. Hello, and welcome to the Of Men, For Men podcast. I am your host, James Rodney Lee Max. Yeah, all right, come on. Right. Come on in. Kick back. Relax. Grab yourself a cold one. Another episode, gentlemen. All right. Good to be with you. Good to be here. I just completed one more trip around the sun here just recently. Yeah. I didn't even think I was going to make it this far. Believe me, I was burning that candle at both ends. You guys know I was in the service, and I was going hither and thither, and I was thinking about that bullet out there, or that IED somewhere that had my name on it. I'm like, they got to be something different. You know, honestly, I didn't think I'd make it to 35, shit. But here I am, a couple decades later. Yeah. I made it. And you can too. Take it one day at a time. Yeah. Yeah, you can make it. You can make it, gentlemen, no matter how hard it is. Believe me, and I've been down in the dumps. I've been in the throes of despair. You can get real down on yourself. You can get into the darkest areas of your mind and thinking about deleting yourself. You don't want to do that. There's always hope, right? There's always hope. I don't know who said it, but the saying goes, for those who refuse to stop fighting, no, victory is always possible for those who refuse to stop fighting. Victory is always possible for those who refuse to stop fighting. That's right. That's right. You can win, son. And I want you to win. I want all of you to win. Right? Okay. All right. We touched a little bit on control and all the different factions out there, all the different things that are trying to control you, manipulate you, into doing what they think is right. This soy society. All these soy people trying to dictate to you what's right and what's wrong and what you should be doing and what you should be thinking. Fuck all of that. Right? I want you should be living life on your own terms, gentlemen. I always preach that to you. You should be doing it on your own terms, not on mine or anybody else's. So we're going to talk about getting control. Getting control. Right? And I don't know that I'm going to cover all the bases, but I'm going to do my best. I'm just going to run through this real quick. Again, just, it's not an end-all, be-all. It's just to, highlight some things to help you start thinking about some stuff. But we as men should be in control. We should be in control of ourselves, our physical being. We shouldn't be getting upset or, trying to get physical with anybody. You need to be in control, your physical control of yourself. Control of your actions, what you're doing, how you're doing it, who you're doing it to. And sometimes that means, control of your sex life. Some of them females, you don't need to be, doing the horizontal bop or the unskinny bop or whatever you want to call it. Some of them you don't need to be messing with. And you know who they are. But sometimes you just let the little one do the thinking for the big one. You just a squirrel out there in this world trying to get a nut. Right? But don't get desperate. Don't get liquored up, and take home a big block, and then you be resenting it the morning after. You be like, oh my God, what did I do? Be in control of yourself at all times, right? So be in control of your physical person, and a lot of that starts in your mind. You need to be in control of your thoughts. That's probably your biggest thing right there. That's the biggest thing you probably need to overcome. Is all them chemicals and pathways and signals flying around through your head, creating thoughts. And you have to be careful about what you think about, because that's who you become. What you think about is really who you are. What do you spend your time on? What do you spend your time thinking about? You should be thinking about yourself, and that's not selfish. That is not selfish, thinking about yourself, how to improve yourself, how to do better. Nothing wrong with that. You got to get control of those thoughts, do away with the negative and stay on the positive. Anything that is not beneficial to you, that doesn't bring you joy and happiness, you need to discard that. You need to get shed of all of that. You and I'm not saying, excuse me, that like one of these gurus, the power of positive thinking. We all have thoughts that cross our minds. You have thousands or tens of thousands of thoughts. You're making choices, all day long, little things. What you gonna have to drink, what you gonna have to eat, all these little, what you gonna put on, all these little choices. But these are thoughts. But you need to grab hold of these thoughts and harness these thoughts and get rid of any of the negativity. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with having thoughts, a negative thought or a sad thought or you don't like this person or that person, but don't dwell on that kind of stuff. Let that thought be a fleeting thought. Let it hit your brain, register, and then let it go. Don't dwell on it. You don't want to dwell on that stuff, because that can eat you up from the inside out. Right? I was having a discussion with an ex-wife, and she was talking about how hard she had it, how tough it was. We was I ain't gonna tell you what we was talking about, but it ended up talking about that. And I told her, I said, well, if it's any consolation, it wasn't easy for me either. It was really hard for me to to deal with that breakup. Because it's not what I wanted. She knows it. She knows. I think at this point that she, probably made a mistake. Not that I was perfect or anything, but that it was hard for me, because I told her, I said, I crawled inside of a bottle for about a decade. Again, that was a choice. It's a choice I made. Those were the thoughts I was having. I was dwelling on that. Instead of grieving and moving on, picking myself up, I mean, I did it the best I could. I mean, I was doing it all along, but I was not handling it well. You know, that was a coping mechanism, and it's not a good one. It's not a positive one. I mean, it hurt me in a lot of ways and slowed my progress down in a lot of ways. You know, cost me money in a lot of ways, you know. So you have to harness those thoughts, you know, so that you can focus on you, where you are, where you want to be, and how you're going to get there. You know, and not dwell on the hurt and the pain, the anxiety, or whatever else that goes along with that. You have to get control of your thoughts, your physical being and your mental being. You have to have control of that. And I'm not talking about controlling other people. You can't control other people. If you haven't already figured that out, other people they will sit there and tell you they love you and then turn around and stab you right in the back and do the dirtiest stuff to you. So the best thing you can do is just, you know, when something like that happens, realize what's going on, realize what's happening, and giddy up, move along, and control those negative thoughts. Again, not bad to have them, for them to cross your mind. It's a human thing, it's a natural thing, but you don't want to dwell on that kind of stuff. It'll eat you up, my friends. It will eat you up from the inside. That's the biggest hurdle you got, is your own mind, is your own self. You know, get control of your finances. You know, where do you want to be financially? And if you need to get a better job so you can make more money, what is it that you need to do to get a better job? Do you need education? Do you need experience? Well, get control of yourself and go get it. Go to school, go to night school. You know, do an internship or whatever it is, an apprenticeship. Whatever it is you need to do, if that's your goal, get control of yourself and do it. If there's something you want, and there's obstacles in your way, get control of yourself and overcome those obstacles. You have to control yourself. It's always about self-control. Maybe that's what our title is. I was thinking about get control, but maybe I'll just say self-control. But get control of your finances. That'll definitely help you. You know, if you want to go out and date, that's fine. But remember, you're spending money on that. You know, is the juice worth the squeeze? You could be saving that money. Putting that money towards, you know, a better car, a new car, nicer apartment, or new clothes, or furniture if you living on milk crates and stuff. I know men don't give a shit, but, you know, I mean, it's nice to have nice things. There's nothing wrong with that. Not necessary, but there's nothing wrong. I mean, you don't have to be on milk crates. You know, don't have a defeatist attitude. You can have nice stuff. Nothing wrong with it. You know, put that money in the bank, put that money in the 401k, invest that money, and create your own wealth. Get control of those finances. That'll help you out tremendously when you're not just wasting money. You know, instead of going out and buying lunch every day at work, hey, how about a bag lunch? How about some sandwiches and some chips or something, you know? That's always a lot cheaper than going out and buying something. I'm telling you what, I ate some ramen noodles and some bologna sandwiches and shit for a long time. And still do occasionally, you know. You have to know what's important to you and get control of yourself. and do it. Double down, bear down and do it. Is it worth it? Then do it. Not that hard. And you don't have to do all this at once. You can tackle one item at a time. It's hard, it's not about remaking yourself all at once. Tackle, one thing at a time until you got control over it and you're like, okay, move on to the next. It's not that hard. It seems daunting at first. And then once you get into it, it'll get easier and easier and easier. But I would say those are the three major ones. And your spirituality. I'm not telling you to get religious or anything. But know that you are not necessarily in control of everything that happens. Know that. There are forces outside of yourself that will dictate what happens to you, and then the biggest thing after that is how you react to it. How you react to the things that happen. And a lot of that will depend on your worldview, your philosophy, your spirituality, your morals, your values, your ethics. That's where a lot of that stuff comes from. That's what this nation was built on. We were all created equal, right? It can be difficult sometimes, when you got Chad Tyrone out there, blowing the back out of, you got 20% blowing the back out of 80%. You think, hey, that ain't equal. And not necessarily, no. But sometimes they get genetically blessed. They're taller, bigger, stronger, better looking. But that's fine. They don't always end up, I'm sure some of those high school kids, that were captain of the team and this, that, and the other, and then later on in life, they flamed out. And then you had all the little nerdy dudes. Now they making mega bucks, and you see them with a nice, pretty wife and a bunch of kids. You're like, oh hell, he turned out all right. But that kid was smart. He had a plan. He had control of the situation. He wasn't out there, running around chasing the poo nanny. He was hitting them books. He was studying. He was getting smart. Because he knew later on down the road, he's fitting to get paid. And when you get paid, then you see, then your market value goes up. Yeah. Everybody looks better with money. That's why you see them dudes and you're like, why in the hell is she with him? He loaded. Either that or he's got a big hog. And I don't mean a Harley. Lord have mercy on us all, man. But yeah, gentlemen, just get control. If there's any aspect of your life that you think is holding you down or holding you back, address it. Whatever it is. Habits, if you got bad habits, whatever they may be, there's tons of them out there. I don't need to go through them all, but if you got any bad habits, get control of them. Or shed them all together if you can. If you got a temper, get control of that temper. If you fly off the handle and mouth off, well, how about get control of, how about, instead of from the brain to the mouth, how about filter it? Right? Get control of that. Think about what you're going to say before you say it, right? Remember, listen, think, and then say. Right? Listen first. That's the most important part of any conversation, is listening, not talking. It's listening. Yeah, but get in control of yourself. Self-control overall is one of the best things you can do. Be disciplined. We might talk about that too in a future episode, discipline. But just as a generality, just self-control is one of the best things you can do for yourself. You don't want people to see you as a as a loose cannon, so to speak. Right? All right, gentlemen, enjoy the rest of your weekend here. There should be some good. There was a couple good games on yesterday. There's a couple more coming on today. All right. Spend some time with your friends, your family, your loved ones. Enjoy your days off if you got them. And take time off if you got it. Right? Because believe me, if something happens to you at work, they'll have you replaced in no time, right? No time. So take care of yourselves, gentlemen. Take care of the people around you as best you can. Try to be a leader. Try to be as manly as you can. and whatever that is to you, that's what it is, right? That's not for me necessarily to define. And I'll talk to you again soon. I have been James Rodney Lemax, and you have been great. Yeah.
This will be a weekly podcast. You can find it on the Anchor app and anywhere podcasts are available. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. I look forward to seeing you there.